right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call the November 3rd, 2025 Crest Hill City Council meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. I would ask that everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you for your cooperation. Just a few minutes late. I would ask for a roll call, please, Chris.
Ray Solomon.
Here.
Jamie Malloy.
I'm here.
Scott Dyke.
Here.
Angela Desario.
Here.
Darrell Jefferson.
Here.
Claudia Gazal.
Here.
Tina Oberlin.
Present.
Mark Sapiti.
Here.
Nate Albert.
Here.
Joe Kubal.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, first on the agenda, we have a special guest with us this evening from Lockport Township High School. It is Angela Adolph. She is actually the Lockport Township High School District 205 Director of Development and Foundation, and this is her yearly visit to the city of Crest Hill to give us an update in regards to Lockport Township High School, which 90% of our Crest Hill residents go to.
Yeah.
It's all yours, Angela. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm super grateful to be here. I brought gifts. I always think that that's nice when you come to someone's house to visit, you bring a gift. So there's t-shirts along with just a little card thanking you all for your service. On that card is a quote that I'm going to start my little presentation here with. It just says, the greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Coretta Scott King said those words, and I truly believe that's true, and I'm grateful for you all for what you do for our community. I live in Lockport, but I still consider Crest Hill part of our community as I work at Lockport Township High School and come over here to do some shopping and things like that. So I'm just grateful to be here, and thank you for having me. Our community shows its care and compassion in lots of different ways. One thing that the high school is trying to partner with local community members is we're hosting a food drive this coming Sunday. Just sort of want people to know that that's available. It's a drive-through food drive. We're working with as many community members and business that we can to try and just fill a need that's going to be present in people's lives. The high school currently has a student population that is 33% low income. I think a lot of people are surprised to hear that. So if you do the math, that's 3 out of every 10 students might be experiencing some sort of food insecurity right now. So we're trying to do what we can to help ease that. A student can't learn if they don't feel safe, and they certainly aren't going to feel safe if they are hungry. So we are partnering with as many people as we can in the community. We right now have, I think, 19 locations that are collecting food. So it's a great thing to be a part of. I believe there's a couple of Crest Hill businesses that are on our list. And we certainly aren't trying to take away from any other food banks that are doing amazing work. So, all of those things are great, and just trying to provide a resource while we can for the next couple of weeks until things hopefully get sorted out. So I'm going to talk about the high school real fast. We're incredibly proud of the work our students are doing at the high school. Right now, we have, most recently, we had 423 students recognized as AP Scholars. AP Scholar is something that the College Board does. That's not something that we don't distinguish our own students by. The high school also had 2 National Merit Scholar finalists. What that means is that 2 of our students were recognized in the top 1.2% in the country, the whole United States, not just Illinois, not just Will County. So we are really grateful for our staff for the work that they're doing with our kids. We attribute some of those advanced placement scholars to the accelerated AP classes and dual credit classes we've been able to offer at Lockport Township High School. I'm going to read to you because I'm not always very good at this. So we are currently offering 52 advanced placement classes. Advanced placement is something that a student takes that is a college level course that they take in congruently from a high school teacher, but they can earn college credit. So we offer 52 total classes. It's 26 at each semester. And we currently have 2,639 students in those classes. We're roughly at 3,700 students as all in. So we have a large percentage of our students taking classes that will provide them college credit when they graduate. And then we also offer 32 dual credit classes. That's a class that So an AP class, you have to take a test to get the credit for. A dual credit class, we teach in kind of like lock and step with Joliet Junior College, and they get credit for that class through Joliet Junior College. So when they graduate high school, they will have a transcript that shows them that they had credit. My son did that. It's extremely helpful when you're paying for college to come in with 6 credits to, some of our students leave with almost a full year of college under their belt, which isn't just helpful for being prepared for college, it's a huge savings, just financially. So we're extremely proud of that. Lockport Township High School had Joliet Junior College recognize us as their largest participant in dual credit. So out of the 26 other high schools that participate with Joliet Junior College, Lockport has the largest amount of students participating in dual credit. We are extremely proud of that. Next year, we're actually adding one more class period to our East Campus Day, meaning students will now have the opportunity to take 8 classes versus 7. Which really turns into 6 classes versus 5 because PE is a requirement and lunch has to happen. So students now have the opportunity, then they will be able to take an extra credit, an extra class each year, again offering them more opportunity to leave high school with this kind of, with either advanced placement or maybe they can dabble into the arts a little bit more than they currently can, or something that they're more interested in, social studies or sciences, because when you kind of get into a track of knowing what you want to do after high school, because every 14-year-old knows what they want to do with their life. This opens up just a few more opportunities. So we're extremely proud to be able to do that. We aren't adding to our day at all. On our Wednesdays, we have a shortened class schedule. That gets a little bit shorter next year to allow for the classes to sort of shift a little bit more. So we're excited to be able to offer that. We're also incredibly proud of the college, like not just the college, but the career readiness our students are participating in. Many of our students leave our campus prepared to go into welding or become a certified auto mechanic. There's lots of things that our kids are doing. We offer internships at the school and both are partnering in the communities to give our kids kind of real world opportunity. I'm a big advocate of why don't you try it and hate it now, as opposed to when you are 19 or 20 and then you're, especially if it's a college level course, it gets very expensive to change your mind the older you get. So we're proud that we can offer all of those things to our students now. We're also, and I'm happy to answer questions. I'm talking quickly so I don't make your meeting any longer. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that our football team is now in the second round of playoffs. So if you guys don't have anything to do Saturday night, they will be taking on Homewood Flossmoor at Porter Stadium this Saturday at 6 o'clock. We are also hosting walk-in talks with Dr. McBride, the superintendent, and I actually have little cards. I'm going to leave those over there also, inviting you to attend with him just so you can walk through the building so that if you have questions, he's doing the tours, you can see it firsthand. The different things that we have going on. High school looks a lot different than when I went to high school, which was just a couple of years ago. So, but it's just interesting, right? My 20-something-year-olds don't show that at all. But it's just interesting to see what your public high school has going on. Just the library alone, I think, is so fascinating. I would have loved to have gone to a school that had a library that looked like that. The kids have booths that they sit in a podcast area, and just really interesting things that we certainly didn't have. Well, I certainly didn't have when I went to high school. So please, please be welcome to attend. Again, I just have some cards. He hosts them Wednesday mornings, again, late start Wednesday, so there aren't students there, but you'll get to see a more active campus if you show up on Wednesday morning and walk around and ask some questions. There's free coffee involved from L-Town Grounds. Our 18 to 23-year-old students participate in all kinds of areas, and our coffee shop is one of them, because we do know that you can work at Starbucks and make a living wage and get insurance and all of those things. So we have in-house training that our traditional students do appreciate, that they can get a coffee in the middle of their day also. I appreciate that also, actually. But so please feel welcome to come out anytime, truly, but he's specifically hosting a couple of walk-in talks. The next one is on November 19th. We also have, he's opening up more opportunities to walk through Central Campus. It was the talk of the town just a few years ago, but now it is looking just like it always has. It's in its glory. We have a two-phase project that's going on there, and this summer we'll complete it. They did the roofing and some wiring, and then next up is windows. Oh, they also did tuck pointing. Next up is some windows and some finishing touches for to just kind of ensure that that building can continue to house our students. I know that there's great debate about that building, but that is the building we have, and that is the building our students go to. So we're excited to show that off and showcase it. So I hope that you always feel free that you should reach out anytime and come visit the school for any reason, but specifically I have just a couple of invites. And I am happy to take questions. I know I said an awful lot in a very short amount of time.
No, it was very well done. It's a lot of information. And just to say that my wife and I had the honor to be at, we're Gold Club members.
Love it, yeah.
And we went to the dinner and then to the play on Thursday night. The dinner was outstanding. The play, those students did a fantastic job in the spelling bee contest. So we do go to a lot of the athletic and the arts over there, and they're very talented young people. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, we're very
And,
proud of them, yeah.
The school is doing outstanding, and I'm glad to see that Dr. McBride got another year extension, because he is a wonderful man with a lot of good ideas.
He brings a lot to the table, but he has assured us that he is retiring at the end of next school
Yeah.
year.
Anybody else from council?
I just want to say my daughter is in AP last
great.
year and this year, so it's a big benefit.
It's a huge
I'm very
undertaking.
excited about that, and
Yeah.
she's getting into the medical, so
Oh, good.
she'll be doing Wilco next year, and
Oh, great.
yeah, so we're very excited.
So she'll take advantage of that extra class, I'm sure.
She's
Yeah,
gonna
that's-
take that, yeah.
That's fantastic.
So it's good to know.
Wilco's a great partner. Like, the kids get such good training when they go there. It's great.
Nate, you're a graduate of that, are you not?
I am, yeah.
Yes, Nate and I are
Proud Porters.
graduates of,
Great. Well, I'm gonna leave, here, I brought shirts for everybody. You can do whatever you want with them. You can clean them, give them to your kids. Whatever you need to do, but it's a little port of pride wherever we go. So thank you very much. And again, I hope that if you ever feel the need or have any questions, Dr. McBride is a wonderful source. He loves to talk about our school, but feel free to reach out anytime.
thank you very much.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thanks, Angela. Have a good night. Okay, next is, we are going to a consent agenda this evening. So is there anybody that would like to make public comment in regards to any one of the 14 items listed on the agenda, the 14 items? Let the record show that no one has approached the podium. So then we will move into the consent agenda. And just to let everybody know, this is a historic night for the city of Crest Hill, because this is our first meeting using the consent agenda. For 65 years, we went a different direction for a long, long time. So we're hoping that we have very few growing pains. I'm sure there'll be some bumps in the road, so please be patient with us and cooperation. This is all our first time doing the consent agenda. So I would ask, let me say this, that we did have several meetings in regards to this. It was the council's choice that the consent agenda, any city council alderman or alderperson or alderwoman that is sitting at this table, if they wish to have it removed from the consent agenda, it will be allowed. That was their choice, and I think that was the right choice to make. So moving forward, I would ask, is there anyone of the city council that would like to have one of the 14 agenda items removed?
Yes.
I will, Mayor. I would like to remove the list of bills.
Okay, we have a request from Alderwoman Gazal to remove 6M. Tina?
6H.
6H. We have a request from Alderperson Oberlin to remove 6H. Anybody else?
I would ask for 6I. I do remember a conversation about it, but I don't remember about the sale or disposal. I'd like to discuss that.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, so if everyone will just bear with me, I am going to go through and I am going to read the other 11 consent agenda items. I would ask for council's cooperations and patience to let me finish from start to finish, and then I will ask if there are any questions or if anybody would like to make a motion. So consent agenda number 6A is the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held on October 20th, 2025. Agenda item 6B, approve the change order proposal with USG Water Solutions for the Well 8 filter in the amount of $4,068. Agenda item 6C, approve the change order proposal with USG Water Solutions for the Well 10 filter in the amount of $8,136. Agenda item 6D, approve a resolution approving a revision to the construction agreement for the 2024 sanitary sewer televising and cleaning contract and between the City of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois, and Horror Construction Incorporated for a new construction cost of $168,053. Agenda item 6E, approve a resolution approving a construction testing agreement for East Receiving Station Reservoir improvement by and between the City of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois, and Rubino Engineering Incorporated for an amount of $12,841.50. Agenda item 6F, approve a resolution approving a construction engineering agreement for the East Receiving Station Reservoir improvements by and between the City of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois, and Strand and Associates Incorporated for an amount of $179,500. Agenda item 6G, approve a resolution approving a construction agreement for chemical feed system upgrades by and between the City of Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois, and Strand and Associates for an amount of $33,900. Agenda item 6J, approve an ordinance approving multiple variations to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance with respect to certain real property located at 2400 Waterford Drive in Crest Hill, Illinois, the application of Ruben and Clara Miranda. Agenda item number 6K, approval to purchase Fortinet firewall licenses in the amount of $70,100.82. Agenda item 6L, approve an ordinance approving multiple variations to the Crest Hill zoning ordinance and Crest Hill Code of Ordinances with respect to certain real property located at 16825 Chernovic Lane, Crest Hill, Will County, Illinois, the application of Amazon.com Incorporated. And the last one, agenda item number 6N, for informational purposes only, the regular and overtime payroll from October 6, 2025 to October 19th, 2025 in the amount of $276,655.69. And for the general public, most of these items were discussed last Monday night at the city work session, and everybody had their say. So I would ask at this time, is there any other comments, anything, any changes that any of the city council would like to make? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion for approval of the 11 consent agenda items.
So moved. Second. Nope. All right. So
Is that
moved.
you, Nate?
It was between both of us, yeah.
All right, we have a motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderperson Oberlin, for the approval of the 11 consent agenda items as read. Questions or comments? Roll call, please, Chris.
Scott Dyke?
Yes.
Angelo Desario?
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson?
Yes.
Claudia Gazal?
Yes.
Tina Oberlin?
Yes.
Mark Sepiti?
Yes.
Nate Albert?
Yes.
Joe Kubal?
yes,
Motion carries, thank you. Let me read you off the resolution ordinance numbers, please. 6D will be Resolution 1352. 6E, Resolution 1353. 6F, Resolution 1354. 6G, Resolution 1355. 6L, Ordinance 2036.
Okay, Moving on, we will go back in the order as they are listed on the agenda. The first one would be 6H, and that would be discussion in regards to the approval of the Will County Governmental League Holiday Reception for 2025. That was asked to be further discussion by Alderperson Oberlin, so I will turn it over to her for discussion.
Well, this was very nice that Blaine got this together, but there were a few points absent on it. One of them is the deadline to sign up for this. So we only have until Thursday, December 4th to do that. And that needs to be stated in here also with these other requirements, because we can't register people after that date. And the other additional thing on this is, in the past, when we had a full-time city administrator, he or she was also invited to go to this, and that needs to be added to this as well, that the city would pay for the city administrator as well.
Okay, any other comments or questions in regards to this agenda item? With those items discussed, is there a motion for approval?
So moved with the additional items.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderperson Oberlin, seconded by Alderman Sapiti, for the approval of agenda item number 6H, the approval of the Will County Governmental League Holiday Reception 2025 with the changes as discussed. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Angelo Desario,
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Mark Sepiti.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
and Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 6I, an approving an ordinance authorizing the sale and/or disposal of certain personal property that is no longer necessary or useful for the city's public purposes. That was Alderman Jefferson asked for that discussion. I will turn it over to him.
Yes. I remember us having a discussion about switching over from the Glock to the, I forget the.
It's just a newer version of the Glock
Right.
pistol.
But I don't remember us having a discussion about sale or disposal.
Yeah, that was part of our discussion, is we were recouping money back to help with that purchase. I also talked about, we had some funds that were given us in a general seizure from the task force that we're a member of. So that, coupled with the sale, helped us make the purchase with very minimal overhead for us. That was the
And I believe
deal.
ammunition as well.
And the ammunition, we already did the surplus, if you remember, for our shotguns as well.
Right.
And that was just kind of the process to help us recoup some of those funds.
Okay. This process with the shotgun is tied in with this, or that was?
Yeah, well, the shotguns were old, and they were really not something I was thrilled about putting on the street, so I thought we needed to get rid of them. We're moving more to the military-style platform for a rifle.
Okay. Thanks for the update. I just didn't remember.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments in regards to this agenda item?
How will you sell those, like we advertise on?
They give us, as I said in the memo, they'll give us a credit. So they'll give us a credit to that, and then they will sell them. Ray O'Haron's only sells to police officers.
Anybody else? I would ask for a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderwoman Gazal, seconded by Alderman Jefferson, for approval of an ordinance authorizing the sale and/or disposal of certain personal property that is no longer necessary or useful for the city's public purposes. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please, Chris.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Mark Sepiti.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Angelo Desario.
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson.
Yes.
And Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 2034.
Okay, the last agenda item on the consent is 6M, the approval of the list of bills issued through November 4th, 2025 in the amount of $1,859,638.02. That was asked for further discussion by Alderperson Gazal, so I will turn it over to her for discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple items in here, so bear with me. The first one is, I would like to ask the city administrator how come there is a tree purchase for $2,920? Can you explain a little bit about that? When I went myself to, which you were aware, we talked about it in our Winterfest meeting, that I was going to the fields on Cotton, that they will donate a tree for us that we can use for the Christmas lighting, and it was going to be part of Crest Hill, something that is going to grow with us as we move every year to different events. And I go and I advertise it. I ask you to send them a thank you card, and then doing the shred thing, I'm like, okay, well, the tree, I took a picture of it, but it just seems like a lot bigger than what I picked. So the day of the shred day, I started looking at it more, and I'm like, that's not what I picked. What I picked was put on the side here. And when I went to, I spoke to Brian at the fields, they donated it thinking or knowing that this tree was going to be part of our Christmas celebration every year. And then all of a sudden we get this list of bills, and not even local, and probably they don't have the tree that you were looking for, but we never discussed that we were going to purchase a tree for almost $2,900, almost $3,000. And I don't understand why the council was not aware of this, why we never discussed it, and what is the point of me going and asking for something if we're not gonna honor that business that they gave us that tree with that purpose to be part of growing Crest Hill.
Happy to answer that. So I did send the thank you letter to the fields. We actually have planted that tree at the specific location that I indicated to you. I marked it with chalk, and I showed exactly where that tree was going to be located. The fields previously, I believe 2 years ago, gave us an earlier tree. We placed that on the other side, again, per our landscaping plan. Both of those trees are now about 6 feet, maybe 6.5 feet. When we went out there after they were placed, we looked to see where our lighting switch would be. That lighting switch is over 6 feet tall, so it would actually cover up the size of the tree. We talked with our Public Works Department, and they said out of our 50/50 tree dollars, along with our other trees, we do have substantial dollars. There's probably about $15,000. Underneath my authority, we do have I have up to $20,000, so there's $15,000 to be used. To get the tree for this holiday season to be included and planted in the appropriate time, there is a window of 5 days. So I had to make a call. We talked with the fields to see if they had any other trees that we could purchase that would be over the 6 to 7 feet tall. They told us no. We asked them if they had recommendations for other tree farms that would have trees of this size. We then contacted all those. Only one tree farm had in our area at the cost of under $3,000, as you noted. And so to have the tree purchased, installed, and the 1-year warranty, we did have that placed there. And that was all underneath my authority, and that's what I did.
I understand. So this tree was purchased from West Chicago, first of all. It's not even local. Second is like you're doing, robbing Peter to pay Paul, basically. The 50/50 program, it's for 50/50 program. I don't think you can use that line item to purchase something else.
I agree, and I didn't. I used our tree dollars. There's $15,000 remaining in the tree dollar fund. So we.
I believe decisions like that should come to the council.
$3,000 decision should come to
Yes,
council.
because this is not an emergency. That look at here the paperwork. I have the paperwork of what you can spend. Something that you're gonna purchase for the city outside, landscaping always came to the council before. And the switch is not gonna be right next to the tree. The tree is further up. And I thought, my understanding at the meeting, we were going to incorporate that part of the speech of the mayor, that this is like our growing tree and et cetera.
And I agree, it's gonna be one of the trees that's lit. And if you look at our landscape plan that was designed for the outside, that was actually identified as one of those trees. So now we have completed that landscape plan to have the 2 trees and then with the center tree. I appreciate, and I did write that thank you letter to the fields. It will be a significant component of our overall holiday program as one of the trees that will be lit.
Well, I think an email to the council would be nice. And
If council wants to give me direction to ask for money that's underneath my authority, I'm happy to follow council's wishes.
I think that the council and myself, I've been asking nothing but communication transparency from day one. I think I've been saying that, transparency and communication. The other thing on that list of bills is, and this is really confusing, I know I talked to our finance manager about it, and I know part of the police department, they feel the same way. We get sponsorship for these events, and all these years, since I've been elected, I've never heard once that we're gonna use whatever money is left goes to the general fund. So if this is the committee, that each committee, this is what we're supposed to do, what about the Veterans Committee? They're keeping their own money. And when Alderman Overland had her committee, we were constantly always told that this money has nothing to do with the city funds, correct, Alderwoman?
Right.
So I'm not sure why all of a sudden now we work so hard to get the sponsorship, and whatever is left over, it has to go to the general fund. So an example, if the chief is giving me money or donating money, he's donated for this particular event, and all of a sudden Crest is using it to buy a tree, to buy a desk, to whatever. I don't think that's right, and we really have to look into this.
I'm confused. What are we looking into?
Sponsorship money for each committee, it should stay in a line item of a committee. The mayor has a committee, he's the chairperson for the veterans, which I'm on the committee as well. I don't see the leftover, whatever money he has in that committee that is going to general funds. It's staying in the committee. And same thing with the committee that Tina had, the money stayed in different bank, and outside Crest Hill was not part of Crest Hill.
So that would be a council decision. If you'd like to roll the money over that is earned, we would make an adjustment to the next fiscal year. So annually, council would say you would like that line item to roll over to the future year.
Well, that's how it's been done lately, but didn't you say that you can't do it like that anymore?
Actually, what's supposed to happen is when you donate money, money is donated to the city, it's not donated to a special event. There is no special requirement to keep that money and segregate that money. It's not a restricted fund such as a motor fuel tax. So the money goes into a general fund pool. It is tracked under activity code, so you can see that. So last year, we did receive $13,000 for Winterfest. We spent about just under $7,000. So the remaining money went into the general fund. Actually, all the money goes into the general fund, and then you spend it, and then we can track it and say, well, look, we got $13,000 here, and I gave a report saying we spent, $6,000, just under $7,000. And so you can see that there was actually a surplus of funds for the event. Now, when we create the next budget, you can actually, if you want to, we could say, well, take that remaining dollars and put that in next year's budget, but then you're going to get other donations for the following year, and that'll come into it, and then you'll have to, track it that way, but it's not tracked as a special fund, and it's not tracked as a restricted fund.
So does that mean the city have to put it in a different bank?
No, not a different bank, but what you do is you're trying to create a restricted fund for that. I think that's an overburden for the process. I think what you can actually do is track your funds if that's what you want to do, but then it gets to be how long do you track those funds and watch the balances go up and down. Is it just for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years? How long does that go? And when does it become part of the city funds, as far as just going to the general pool of general funds that we have. And then what happens to the funds that the city allocates to the account. So like we got $13,000 worth of donations, but you also had an allocation into the special event. Now, how does that allocate into those funds? Are you considering that part of the donations that came from the city portion? Or are you just considering the donations that get from the outside world? What part rolls over? And then what part do we spend first, the city funds or the donation funds?
Well, I believe if you have the money that it was dedicated and it was donated to this particular committee or event, it should stay in a line item for that particular event.
Well, again, if you want to get into the specifics of that, if you really want to track this, not talk this over with the auditors, what you really need is an agreement with the person donating it, saying what they're donating it for. Is it just donating for this particular event, just for this particular year? Does it roll over? What happens with the excess funds when you didn't spend it? You get to keep it now and use it for the next event going forward. Because you're saying if it's specific for a specific event, for a specific year, then I have to issue refund checks because you didn't spend that money? Do you get to keep it? That's part of the agreement we don't have. So there's a lot of things that are inferred there without actually having specifics. So right now, what happens is everything is donated to the city, and then the city decides how it's being used. You all decide what happens with the budget. So if you want to do that next year, then you can say, okay, well, we had $6,000 extra. Well, let's raise the special events by $6,000. You can do that. But then we're not tracking it specifically dollar for dollar.
Yeah, I think we need to investigate this and look into it, because you basically, from what he's saying, we've been doing this wrong for all these years,
Yes.
you know, and to me, again, if, you know, Spasia and Taylor, they're donating to the Winterfest, it should stay in the line on the Winterfest. Doesn't mean if you spend it, all of it this year or not, it should stay in the line and it carries over to the next year.
Well, I guess that's a.
Because he donated, for example, to the water department or to the chief for his, you know, national night out. You know, they work hard to get all these money, and they go to different, you know, developers and they ask for donation, and then in the end, all their work, if they don't use it, it's like you have to put it into the general fund and you use it for anything. That doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess the question is did they donate it for the neighbors' night out for this specific year? And then if you didn't do that, do I just refund the money back? Or do you just get to assume that we can roll it over to next year? Because you're saying you're donating for this specific event. Is that specific event for this specific year? That's what I'm saying. What you have to be, if you're saying it's being specific and not just a donation toward the city, then we got to be specific about how we treat the money.
Mayor, may I suggest we bring this to a workshop? We can have the auditors advise us on the best way to
Yes, we
actually
do,
handle
because
donations.
we have here, you know, I see it here in the list of bills that we paid already for the Winterfest from general money. I mean, it doesn't, that's not transparent to me.
Yeah, so I think where Glenn was going is money is going into the city's checking account, if you will.
Yes.
And then as we have bills that are incurring for that event, it's all tracked, so we'll have a full reporting of what's the revenue that came in as donations, as well as expenditures. And if council chooses, and again, if our auditors advise, which I believe every community that I've worked for in Illinois, at the end, when we go through the budget, they'll say if there's a surplus in those donations, if council would like to carry that money forward to the next year's line item, then that would be your choice. I'll let the auditors explain what we've done in the past and the way that we should be doing it going forward.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we will have those concerns from the Alderwoman on a future work session. Anybody else in regards to this item? Okay, that concludes the consent agenda. Moving on to agenda item.
Motion to
approve.
approve. If they have a motion to approve the,
The remaining
Oh.
bills.
I'll make a motion, Mayor.
My fault. Motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by
I'll second it.
Alderman Desario for the approval of the list of bills issued through November 4, 2025 in the amount of $1,859,638.02. Questions or comments? Roll call?
Darrell Jefferson,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal,
No,
Tina Oberlin,
Yes.
Mark Sepiti,
Yes.
Nate Albert,
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
Angelo Desario.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, now that concludes all of the consent agenda items. We will move on to agenda item number 7, which is reports and communications from department heads and elected officials. And we'll begin tonight with our city attorney, Mike Stiff. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. There is a memo in the public packet that kind of explains what happened with the cannabis retailer's occupation tax. Just like with the grocery tax, these taxes have to be effective January 1 of any given year. year need to be with the Department of Revenue, received by them by October 1. In this case, you passed the ordinance on of course, I didn't put the date.
September 15th.
Yeah, so you passed it, we got it down to the Department of Revenue. They wrote back and said, we have it, it will be effective January 1. However, there's a couple of things that we don't like about it. They don't like the definition of cannabis, which apparently has changed several times since the Cannabis Act was passed. They did not like the fact that we said that this will be effective January 1 after its passage, so long as it gets down by October. And they wanted it to just say it's effective January 1, 2026. They also wanted a phrase in there that said that the clerk is directed to send a certified copy, even though that's what we did. They wanted it in the ordinance. And then they also wanted something more specific than what was previously drafted as far as the fact that the Department of Revenue will collect and enforce this this ordinance. So they said we're still good for an effective date January 1. They just want this revision by December 1. So rather than bring this to another work session and lose another week, we decided that we could bring it here today as a new item. We kept it off the consent agenda so we could discuss it and ask or answer any questions. But basically, these changes are the changes that were requested by the Department of Revenue, so to make them happy. And again, I think I talked with Dan Ritter. It's unusual for them to scrutinize an ordinance that well or that much, but obviously, if that's what they want, that's what they got. So I've made the changes. They're pretty much highlighted by bullet points in my memo. But other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions if I can.
So move as presented.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Alderman Albert, seconded by Alderperson Oberlin for an ordinance amending Title III of the City of Cresthill Code of Ordinances adopting a municipal cannabis retailer's occupation tax. Questions or comments in regards to the motion?
Well,
Roll call, please, Chris.
New ordinance?
I'm giving you the new ordinance number, or I'm recommending we do a new ordinance number with a new date.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
Tina Oberlin,
Yes.
Mark Sepiti,
Yes.
Nate Albert,
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
Angela Desario,
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 2037.
And that's all the agenda items that I have, and other than that, I'll answer any other questions.
Any questions of City Attorney? Okay, thanks, Mike. Moving on to our City Administrator, Blaine Link. Good evening, Blaine.
Evening, Mayor. The one item that I have tonight is brought forward from our last workshop. It's in regards to the creation of a communications committee that would have 2 council members being the representatives from the council. They would be providing feedback on such topics as our website, newsletters, press releases, and other items. We do have deadlines quickly approaching on these 2 items, the website and our upcoming newsletter. And again, feedback from council members would prove helpful as we move forward with those projects. Even with the feedback of these 2 members, I still plan on bringing the bigger overall projects to council so that they're continually updated on the progress. But having council members provide information back, so feedback to staff and our vendors would be helpful. And the reason why this wasn't brought up under consent is there was at least one individual during our work session that either abstained or voiced that they had questions about this topic. So that's why it was placed on as a specific item.
Any questions or comments from council? Okay, I would ask for a motion to create a communications committee. Mayor would like to appoint Alderman Nate Albert and Alderperson Tina Oberlin as that committee. Questions or comments?
No comments.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman
Second.
Desario, seconded by Alderwoman Gazal. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Mark Sepiti,
Yeah.
Nate Albert,
Abstain.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
Angela Desario,
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson,
I'm gonna say no.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Abstain.
Motion carries.
I don't have anything else, Mayor. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions of city administrator?
Yeah, I was wondering if we could look into maybe possibly getting some signage on Broadway for Route 66, since it is, you know, there is nothing on Broadway, whether we put it like by our new monument sign, maybe one going that way and one on the other side of the road, but at least some signage. We
Happy
could
to
look into
bring
that.
something back with staff, yep.
We're working on a little bit of something that we're gonna bring before you guys, hopefully before the end of the year. Next year's the 100-year anniversary of Route
Right.
66, so we're working on some options for that.
All right, thank you.
I had a question for Blaine. Previously, you mentioned the initiative to have our work sessions streamed on YouTube, and you said at that time that it looked like October things would be in order to get that rolling. Do you have an update on that?
Yeah, unfortunately, as of our last power outage, one of our cameras actually just died. So we're down to 3 out of the 4. So I've been working with our vendor to get that one replaced and or update our current equipment to be able to stream live. So I'm hoping here in the near future to make sure that if we have replacement cameras to the hardware that we have, or if we're going to need to update that. I found out that we do have the encoding software to update to YouTube, so we're close. We've also talked with our website provider so that we can actually stream it live, so our meetings could be. Unfortunately, with the recent failure of some of our hardware, it's going to be a little challenging unless we just do a broad shot. So,
Okay, sorry.
yeah, no.
Since we don't stream live, I mean, not on YouTube anyway, we're on community cable with the council meetings, but the work sessions, is there any way they could be just video, you know, recorded and then replayed on YouTube, similar to the way the council meetings are with the existing cameras?
Yeah, so we took a step further in testing that. So our current consultant is here during our council meetings so that he can pan, tilt, and zoom kind of the cameras. We're looking to see if we can basically just flip the switch and turn it on. He's actually given us instructions on how to do that. So we've started to try to, I guess, test it, if you will, or pilot it to see how well that would work so that when he'd be here, afterwards, he'd be able to actually upload that video content similar to how we're doing it now. So we're testing that out right now.
Anybody else?
I have a question. What is the update on the windows at the clerk office? And now you're having another problem with the building department, the windows cracking as well.
Yep, so we've brought in, we previously already have one quote, and we brought in another consultant to let us know what they would recommend if the actual whole structure where the windows are need to be replaced. Just to inform council, when I was updated, it sounds like we had the windows in place and then we left out putting the holes in so that there could be communication. So those were then done to the structure, and unfortunately the glass in some of them did break or crack. So looking to see what is the best fix for the long-term, I guess, safe way of having those barriers in place. So we've gotten one initial quote, now we're working on a second.
So there's not gonna be warranty since we made holes to them afterwards.
I'm sorry.
There's not gonna be any warranty on them, obviously, because
Correct,
we made the
correct.
holes on them.
Yeah, we chose, and it avoided the warranty once we damaged the integrity of the items.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Hey, I have a quick, do we have an update on the microphone equipment?
Yes, so last Thursday, I met with two vendors and that we currently have for our equipment, and they're getting quotes. We looked at updating our current goosenecks up here at the elected official station, potentially adding them for staff, as well as having some for the two tables here, as well as our podium. So I've gotten two vendors that are looking into giving us quotes. I've also looked into the ADA compliant, so our community needs to, along with any other municipality, have the ability, so if somebody has difficulties with hearing, based on our size and audience, we'd most likely need four devices. Looking at seeing to get that component in place as soon as possible, because we're not currently in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. I did reach out to our current vendor that does do our audio to get a quote from them, so we would have 3 quotes, which is most likely needed based on the cost or the expected cost. So talking to the 2 vendors that I did meet with already last week, they both indicated that it's 4 to 6 weeks to have the components ordered, and so we're looking at probably towards the end of the year or early next year to actually have that done.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Blaine. Moving on to our Public Works Department, we do not have any agenda items this evening. We will move on to our city engineer, Ron Wiedemann. Good evening, Ron.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick report on the current projects that we still have going on. We have 4 active projects. All 4 of those projects are scheduled to either be finished or will be closed up buttoned up for the winter time by Thanksgiving. The Oakland Avenue project, we are on the new water main. All services have been installed. The contractor is cleaning up. He's going to patch the road, and then we're going to leave the aprons of stone that he'll be responsible for all winter mostly on the west side of Oakland. We just won't have time to get all that done before the weather gets really bad. Inner Circle right now, the water main is in. Services will be starting in the next couple weeks or so. They'll patch that and then do the surface and the resurfacing in the spring. Hillcrest will be completely finished this year, and starting tomorrow, the contractor will be starting on closing up the holes on Theodore. We're starting at Broadway at Theodore, working west on Theodore first, and then do Broadway. So that one's scheduled to be probably done in about 3 weeks from now. So we do have another project that's going to start after that, but it's not in the roadway. It'll be in the parkway, so it won't affect anything, but that's the Caton Farm project. If there's any other questions.
Any questions of city engineer?
Yeah, I know we started the retaining wall that on Theodore there.
Yep.
They got the one done. Now, the other one, will that be done next year then with what road work was done?
Right now, we're looking at trying to get that started this year. It depends on how fast Sheridan gets up past center. If they can get there by the end of this week, we think we'll get that done next week, and that means 2 weeks on that. So that should again be done by Thanksgiving. If not, it'll carry over until next year.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, Ron. Moving on to our Community and Economic Development Director, Dan Ritter. Good evening, Dan.
Thanks. I have 2 items. The first item is to approve a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a 3rd amendment to the contract for purchase of real estate dated July 15th, 2024, by and between the City of Crest Hill and Quick Trip Corporation for the purchase property located at 1610 Plainfield Road, Crest Hill, Illinois.
Any questions to Dan from City Council? Ali, would you like to add anything? You're good.
Okay, yep, Ali Crest, excuse me, Real Estate Project Manager with Quick Trip Corporation. Just to give you a little bit of where we are, just know that Quick Trip is committed to this project. We're working very hard, very diligently with IDOT. I am in constant communication with them. Not that I get responses back most of the time, but just know that I am the squeaky wheel that needs to be oiled up. So we are doing our due diligence. I feel very confident on this project that's going to get it across the finish line. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer as much as I can.
Any questions of Ali? Okay, I would ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a third amendment to the contract for purchase of real estate dated July 15, 2024, by and between the City of Crest Hill and Quick Trip Corporation for the purchase of the property located at 1610 Plainfield Road, Crest Hill, Illinois. There's a motion by Alderman Jefferson, seconded by Alderman DeSario. Questions or comments in regards to the motion? Roll call, please, Chris.
Nate Albert,
Yes.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
Angelo DeSario,
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson,
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Mark Sepiti.
I'm going to vote no because I'm not in favor of this development at this location, and I'm just remaining consistent on that. So, no.
Thank you. Motion carries. Resolution 1356.
Okay, next one, Dan?
The second item I have is for approval of a resolution approving a facade grant request from JH Hospitality Group for property located at 20631 Renwick Road. This is the grant that was discussed at the last work session. It's for the signage of a new business going into this location for the Feathered Fork. The amount is not to exceed $2,631.90, which is 50% of the total of their lowest bid for the work. The work has not started yet, and they did, I think they were submitting for the permit, so we could get that under review.
So move.
Second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Gazal, seconded by Alderman Albert, for a resolution approving a facade grant request from JH Hospitality Group for the property located at 20631 Renwick Road. That would be for the Feathered Fork Restaurant. Questions or comments? Roll call.
Joe Kubal,
Yes.
Scott Dyke,
Yes.
Angelo DeSario,
Yes.
Darrell Jefferson.
Yes.
Claudia Gazal.
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Mark Sepiti.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 1357.
You guys don't have to stay if you don't want to. A couple of other quick updates I had was I wanted to say thank you to council members Tina Oberlin and Scott Dyke for attending the Will County CED Economic Development Training with me. Doug Pryor always does a really good job. He speaks wonderfully and does a good staff protection program presentation, which kind of helps go through kind of some traditional economic development, what we're doing behind the scenes, some of the big trends that are happening out there. So I appreciate you guys attending. They do it at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. So if anybody's interested, that'll come up again in the future. I'm sure we're all can share what we heard and learned there as well. So was grateful to be able to go to that with them. I also wanted to note that we're officially members of the Joliet Regional Chamber of Commerce. So we had met with them a couple of times. We needed to kind of be adopted since Crest Hill doesn't have a Chamber of Commerce. And so they've already been gracious, done a couple ribbon cuttings for us. And they have quite a few events throughout the year. It's really a good resource for businesses to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce or have that ability to join a chamber where they can work with other businesses that are going through a lot of the same things they are. So they've been a good resource for us to point people to. We also do work with the Romeoville Chamber of Commerce, the kind of north side of town. Often that's closer to there, and we have a good connection and contact with Mary Kay, who's at the Romeoville Chamber of Commerce. But we are going to be members of the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be participating. I've also invited them to maybe do a little bit of a presentation and stuff of what they do, how they help businesses. So as we go forward, you might see kind of more invites to events or things they're doing. They obviously are based, their center, home base is Joliet, but they are going to kind of adopt us as part of them. So Besides that, I have a couple updates just for our website I wanted to let you guys know about. We do have available properties and sites back available on the website. So if you're looking with businesses, if you ever talk to developers, somebody's looking for property in Crest Hill, we started to update that. Not everything's on there yet, but if you see anything missing that you know is available or you have contacts, feel free to send that information my way too. But that's just gonna be one resource so we all can kind of, we know what's available out there and we know kind of what properties we're trying to market out there. But also updated some of our incentive information and just overall the business and development section of our webpage. So as we're working towards the new website, I wanted to make that a little more user-friendly for our developers and businesses to utilize that. And then soon we'll have a current developments update on there as well. So all the projects that are going on in the community that are private developments, those will have a little overview of kind of what we're working on, where the progress is at, so that way if people are asking, hey, what are they building over there? We'll have a good web page to let them know what's going on. So I just wanted to give you some updates there, but if anybody's got any other questions.
Well, I just want to thank you because it was an extremely informative session. I thought it was done very well, and even though I've sat up here for 20 years, what they went over and covered there was still really good to hear and good knowledge to have. So I would recommend anybody to go to it, even if they've already gone to it, because there's changing things all the time. But it was, I really liked it. I really appreciated it, and thank you once again.
Yeah, I want to say, this is my third one I've attended. I went to one in Romeville and last year in Frankfurt also. And each year they change it up a little bit. Even though there's a lot of basic, stuff, but there's still always something to do. They try to bring something new to the equation to make it interesting, keep it, informative. So, yeah, I look forward to next year's and beyond. It's always good to go to.
Yep. And there's always changing trends in retail, commercial, housing, industrial development, and they do a good job kind of summarizing, hey, that's great if you tell me you want a Trader Joe's in town, but here's what that actually means in the real world. So, yeah, I always recommend when it becomes available, if anybody's interested, they have some good information in there. And Will County CED will be here at some point, probably do a little bit of presentation themselves about what they offer businesses, developers, and kind of how they represent Crest Hill. So I'm working on that. Not sure exactly when they'll be available, but they'll be here at some point too. So.
I remembered what I wanted to talk to you about. One of the other questions that I forgot to ask you back there. What is the status on Shell gas station?
The quick run?
Route 53 and Canton.
Yeah, it was supposed to be potentially open today or tomorrow, and that was a conversation we had with the owner on Friday. So I don't know if, I haven't heard it open today. I believe they had a couple but it is stocked, it was inspected, and so I think they had a couple little things they had to check off with the fire marshal and maybe something with the state. And then they were gonna open this week.
Finally.
Yes.
Claudia, what was that? We didn't hear down here what you said.
Shell gas station.
Gas station. Caden and 53. It wasn't open today. I drove by there.
Okay.
But,
They got the pumps are finally on, but there's obviously there's no prices yet. They're not, I saw that there were people going in there to fill the shelves and everything, so it's gotta be getting really close.
Yeah, we talked to the owners Thursday and Friday, actually, so, just about finishing the project overall, because there's a whole second phase to it in the back with the truck fueling, that they're working through. So they did say they finally got everything stocked, got everything approved through the county health department, the fire marshals. They had a couple little things that they needed to sign off on, and then they were supposed to open, they told me today or Tuesday. So maybe tomorrow, I won't hold my breath, but hopefully this week. It's really, really, really close. And again, they have food, it's stocked, Dunkin's ready to open, so.
The longest project ever.
Very close, that's what it sounds like.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
Dan, I had a question, sorry. What about the new discount store at the old Walgreens location at Six Corners? So is there the opening? Well, I went by there today and there was nothing there, nothing
I
going
know
on.
they had some things they need to resolve with the building department and zoning wise. I know even some of the signs and stuff they have up aren't permitted. So, and I think there was a couple building code related things that they had to resolve as well. So I'm not sure of the status of those, but I do know they had some stuff they still needed to resolve before we gave them an occupancy permit.
Okay.
I'll
Would
check
any of
on it,
that, would you happen to know if any of that has to do with just the general, there's a lot of litter around their building?
Probably
Shopping
that.
carts around the back, on the backside, you could see from the road. I mean, it looks really, it's
Probably
unsightly. Yeah.
Probably that as well. I know Don and our inspecting team put together a pretty good list for them to get resolved, even redoing the parking lot, striping's faded. Some stuff we won't necessarily hold up the occupancy permit, but we might put them on like a temporary occupancy while they finish some of that stuff. But yes, cleaning up any code property maintenance issues is usually a requirement too.
Okay.
So I do know they still had stuff on the outside and the inside of that building that they needed to resolve.
Thank you.
I don't think any of it's huge, but they still need to work through it before we'll give them occupancy.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Moving on to our police department, our police chief, Ed Clark. Good evening, Ed.
Don't have anything to present this evening, I already did, but I will answer any questions.
Any questions of police department?
Just a reminder that speed car still with no battery
I know.
on Borio.
Okay, we'll get it, we'll get it.
Okay, thanks, Ed. Moving on to the mayor's report, I do not have any agenda items this evening. Any questions I try to answer? Moving on to our city clerk's report, Christine Verche Hall. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. The only thing I have to say is, on October 25th, we had another very successful shredding event with Lockport Township government. I'd like to thank those that showed up, Alderperson Tina Oberlin, Mayor Solomon and his wife Vicky, Alderwoman Claudia Gazal, the Lockport Township Supervisor Alex Sapien, and the gentleman from the shredding company were amazing also. Last year, in 3 hours, we shredded approximately 3,000 pounds. This year, within 2 hours, we shredded just under 5,000 pounds. So it was, again, very successful. Thank you, everybody. We had a lot of laughs, a lot of interesting things, but it was a great time. So, and that's all I had to report.
And
Any
I didn't
questions?
get my head stuck in the
Yeah.
trunk this year.
No stuck heads, no box accidents.
Any questions of the city clerk? All right, thanks, Chris. Moving on to our city treasurer's report, our treasurer, Jamie Malloy. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening. I have nothing to report, but I'm glad to answer any questions.
Any questions of the treasurer? Okay, thanks, Jamie. Unfinished business, we have nothing on the agenda. Anybody? New business? Anybody? Committee liaison reports? Anybody? City?
Just reminder, Winterfest, December 6th, it's coming along. A lot of fun and exciting things will be happening in the event, so we're looking forward to it. And any council that's gonna enjoy the parade, please send an email.
City council comments, positive city council comments, anything you'd like to share with any of your constituents? We'll begin with Alderman Kubal tonight.
Nothing to add at this time, Mayor.
Alderman Albert?
Nothing at this time, Mayor.
Alderman Sapiti?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Oberlin?
I believe next week we have Veterans Day, do we not?
We do.
So I want to thank all the veterans out there for their service, all the families who stood behind them for what they have done, and thank you all for everything you do and are doing, the people currently doing it.
Alderwoman Gazal?
Nothing, Mayor.
Alderman Jefferson?
Nothing, Mayor.
Alderman Desario?
Nothing, Mayor.
Alderman Dyke?
Yeah, like with Tina saying with Veterans Day, I know it's just that one day, but really all year round, if you see a vet, we should thank them. Make sure you know that we appreciate what they've done for their country and for all of us. So
not just that day, but every day.
Okay, moving on to public comment. Anyone who would like to address city council on any item, please step to the podium, state your name for the record. Your address is optional. Let the record show that no one has approached the podium. To our city attorney, Mike, is there a need for an executive session?
No, there's not.
Motion to adjourn, Mayor.
We have a motion for an adjournment by Alderman Dyke, seconded by Alderman DeSario. Roll call, please.
Keep giving me my vote.
Was it you, Darrell?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
All right, Chris, that was Alderman Jefferson, not DeSario.
I gotta make sure I bring duct tape.
Claudia Gazal,
Yes.
Tina Oberlin.
Yes.
Mark Sepiti.
Yes.
Nate Albert.
Yes.
Joe Kubal.
Yes.
Scott Dyke.
Yes.
Angelo DeSario.
Yes.
And Darrell Jefferson.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion, thank you.
Meeting is adjourned at 8:14 PM. Thank you and good evening.